Hi everyone, welcome to the lesson 2, which is the reading and the focus writing, and this is going to be a snappy lesson as well. Let's go straight into and don't forget, I should mention, if you keep in your journal a little 20-minute reading, whether that's a book at home or whether you go on to Epic and read some of those books there. And the activity for today, for Thursday the 23rd, is pack your bags and read a book about a country you like to visit. So you could go onto Epic and find a country that you're interested in that maybe one day you'd like to go to. So the reading that we're in is on the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and probably you should go through and have another quick read of that. Now, the activity today is going to be really quick because I don't need to go through this with you. So for Thursday, what you need to do is create an information brochure, which we sort of did in the last term, didn't we, about the Sydney Harbour Bridge. So using those techniques that we talked about then even. So use it so it's a visually appealing with a layout including subheadings, text boxes and images. So just on your page, what I'd like you to do, and start on a nice fresh page so that you've got a lot of room, is head it up week 1, and it's the 23rd. It's good for you to write the date, 23rd of April. Helps you keep track and can see how you're going through the week, and also allows me to see your work for each day. And we're doing reading. Okay, now what you can do is on your page, you can have your title up the top. And remember, this is a information brochure on the Sydney Harbour Bridge. So you don't have to do it, come to the Sydney Harbour Bridge. It's just, you could even head it up all about and then you can do some tricky writing. Sydney, you're going to be better than me, I know, I can see already. Harbour, and then underneath that you could, I don't know, draw a bridge. This is terrible already what I'm doing, but I think you get the idea. So make it a bit tricky because it's an information brochure. So I guess what they're saying to you is to represent some of these facts in a more interesting and creative way. Okay, so what they want you to do is create an information brochure that could be handed to tourists when they visit the Sydney Harbour Bridge Museum. So as they're coming through, they're there already, so all you do is informing them. So maybe then you can split it up into, oh, that pen is terrible. Split it up into key facts about Sydney Harbour Bridge in one box. And did you know that the Sydney Harbour Bridge was made out of this much stone or this many rivets? Or sadly, men fell from the dangerous heights, and you could pick another interesting fact. And maybe even put that diagram in that you did where you showed that across the top from one pillar to the other, it was how many meters, or it came in from below, or that how much paint's used. So that's your task today. That's all you need to do in your book. Just create an information brochure that can be handed to tourists as they come through, just to give them some information about the bridge. Okay, that's it. Enjoy doing that, and I'll see you in the maths lesson. Oh, actually, I just remembered. Sorry, I got a bit excited then. We've got one more page left to do out of our focus writing. I hope you didn't finish then. Okay, so the very last lesson for our focus, which is information reports. So just write underneath that, in the same date, information reports on your... I'm having some trouble with my whiteboard. I'm going to get a whiteboard today, I think, if I can get one up the road. So just information reports. This is going to be really quick. This is just to sum up and then we're done for this week on this topic. Information reports. Now, let's have a really quick look at that sheet we downloaded from yesterday, which gave us the structure of an information report. So don't forget, The structure of a newspaper report varies if it's written or spoken, and we looked at that yesterday. It has the topic across the top, a few words that capture the reader's attention, the headline they call it, and it often has the author's name underneath, and it's usually catchy and a play on words. So, for example, and this is a bit lame, but say fishermen caught the hugest fish ever, and they found some secret treasure in its tummy they might have up the top. Fisherman catches more than he expects, or, something like that to get your attention. Then they'll have a few little words underneath that. Then the first is the lead paragraph, and you can see how it's so important that the headline catches the attention, because that's going to tell the reader what it's about in a really catchy way. Then the next part, as the triangle comes down, answers those 5 questions of who, what, when, and where, and why in your summary or lead paragraph. And then it goes down to the body, gives a few more bits of information. When asked, so-and-so said that was the most huge fish he'd ever seen, and he'd been fishing for 55 years. Okay, and then finish off at the end. The fish will be mounted on the wall in the museum along with the treasure from the Spanish ship. And it finishes off with something interesting. Don't forget that the purpose of an information report is always to tell about current events and to inform. And within a newspaper report, as well as having the comments from the reporter, you've got comments from the experts, images that are still or moving, depending on what kind of newspaper report it is. It could be digital, online. It's analytical. It goes into and pulls it apart and discusses why or why not, and diagrams and maps. So they're very interesting genre that we're studying, and we'll see where it goes next week. The final activity that we had to do from the lessons that we downloaded just was to go over that structure and discuss it. I'm pretty sure that most of you would know how that layout is now and how it works. If you wanted to, you could head that up in your book and just take some notes. Newspaper report, I think this is a really great idea. And just do your inverted triangle, and then up the top right headline, just so in your own mind you know the structure of it. Lead paragraph, lead or summary paragraph, and then write a few notes about what's in that, the 5 W's, the who, what, where, etc. Then the body that gives more detail, and then the tail. You can do this in colour, and if you send that in to me, I can see that you've done some more thinking about it. And I'll give you some more stars for that. That's what we'd do if we were in the classroom. We'd write it up as our own little chart to help us remember what's in there. But anyway, that's it. So good luck with your brochure. Just a little refresher on that. We did a lot of work with information reports, particularly yesterday. So that will do us for today, and I'll see you in maths.